Welcome everyone to another episode of Fish Report Live. My name is Craig Fissinger.
And I'm Ken Francis.
And we're coming live to you from the Fish Report studio here in Russia, Ohio. It is Thursday night, March 22nd, 2012. And Ken, you know, I was talking to a viewer of ours from Fort Laramie this past Monday. Said he's hooked on the show. He says, but he wanted to know after basketball season's done this weekend, is the Fish Report Live show still going to be on the air?
Well, of course, we'll still be on the air. All of our avid listeners out there and people that watch us weekly will still be on the air. You know, we got baseball, we got softball, we got track. And so, yeah, we'll keep you informed on all the local stuff that's going on in Shelby County and across the area.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about some of that stuff tonight. We're going to start out talking a little bit of basketball, recap the Ann Lady Rockets from last Saturday. Going to talk about Jackson's big game this morning. We've got some baseball to talk about, and we've got a little track to talk about after our break tonight. Going to be talking in particular girls track and the Versailles Lady Tiger Classic coming up on Saturday. Got a special guest, one of the best coaches in Ohio coming up, and you're going to want to stick around for that. But before we get to all that, Ken, we want to get our viewers, get the show rolling so our viewers can watch that Ohio State UC game coming up at 9:45. We'll get you out of here in time for that. But let's get to our weekly trivia question. What do you got this week?
All right. This week's trivia question is this. Only 2 undefeated teams remain left in Ohio, boys or girls, high school boys or girls. Only 2 undefeated teams remain in Ohio. And the clue is one of them, they're both playing yet. They're both currently playing. One of them is 26-0 and the other one is 27-0. Give us the name of those 2 undefeated teams left in the state of Ohio.
The 2 undefeated teams left in the state of Ohio in boys basketball.
In boys basketball. I think everybody's going to know one of them for sure.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk a lot about them before. As a matter of fact, we were just playing a little Eye of the Tiger for them. Hopefully all you listeners caught that, and we got our little tiger right here. So, but name the 2 undefeated teams left in the state of Ohio boys basketball.
Okay, you can social stream us there on the Fish Report Live page if you want to send an answer in that way. You can also text it to us. Our text number is there on the Fish Report Live page as well. Either way will work. Just get us an answer. We'll find out our winner by the end of the show. By the way, Ken, nice threads tonight.
Yeah, you know, we got our Tiger outfit on. We got our Tiger here. We got Jackson Center Tigers. We got West Liberty Tigers. We got all kinds of good stuff going on.
All kinds of Tigers to talk about. All right, well, let's talk a little basketball right now. Girls basketball, the Ann Lady Rockets actually finished up their season last Saturday. Didn't quite end like we wanted it to, though, did it?
No, you know, Craig, you know, I'd love the green and white on tonight, too, for the Lady Rockets. But unfortunately, the season did not end for them the way they had hoped. Just a tough loss. They were down to Columbus Afrocentric by 6 points late in the game. They fought all the way back, put the game into overtime. They got down 8 points late in the overtime, fought their way back, got it to within 2, and just couldn't get that tying bucket to fall. And but what an outstanding season again for Coach Billing. They went 27-1 back-to-back years. You know, hats off, congratulations to the team, to the coaching staff, to the community. And, you know, you guys got a lot to be proud of over there. You won 51 straight basketball games and, you know, great careers, you know, ending, unfortunately, for the Lady Rockets. But, you know, they got some good players coming back, and so, you know, great season, girls.
And what a game for senior Ashley Froney. She had a heck of a game. Unfortunately, fouled out there at the end.
Yeah, she did. She fouled out with about 3.5 minutes to go, Craig, and that really hurt the Lady Rockets. But she had a fantastic game. Yeah,
she actually made the all-tournament team along with junior Natalie Billing, who will be back next year. Also want to say congrats on a great career for senior Morgan Huelskamp. Didn't make the all-tournament team, but was very much a part of that team and a really nice player.
Yes, yes.
So, all right, well, let's talk a little bit of boys basketball. Ken, got the Jackson Center Tigers still in it, and they played actually this morning at 10:45, the first game of the state tournament, and what a game it was.
Unbelievable.
It sure was.
Great game. You know, I'll say one thing, the Shelby County League got even with the Nubians today because the Nubians got us last Saturday against Anna, but Shelby County League, we turned it on the Nubians today. So what a game it was, and congratulations to Coach Alkert, the Tigers, and again, everybody there in Jackson Center. Hats off to you guys, and best of luck Saturday.
Yeah, they were down 15 points at one time.
They were down 15 points, Craig, fought their way back. They cut it to 11 by halftime. and just had an outstanding second half. It was just a tale of two halves. The first half, Columbus Afrocentric was 5 for 8 on three-pointers and shot 55% from the field. The second half, the Nubians were 0 for 4 on three-pointers. Jackson Center, on the other hand, hit 5 of 9 three-pointers and in the second half and shot a blistering 67% in the second half. It was interesting. I listened to Coach Elker during a post-game interview during the second Division IV game, and it was just really neat to hear what he said. And the interviewer asked him, said, "Coach, what did you change, or what adjustments did you make at halftime?" And the coach gave the answer. He said, "Well, the adjustment we made at halftime was the fact that we didn't make any adjustments." He said, "We came out, we stuck to our game plan the second half, and fortunately for us, the Nubians started to miss shots, the Tigers started to hit shots, things turned, they got the momentum, and what a great game, of course, by Alex Meyer and Andy Hoyne. They chipped in 15 and 16 points respectively, and but a couple kids, Craig, that I think deserve a lot of credit. Trey Elker. He didn't shoot the ball well today, but he had 4 assists, no turnovers in 31 minutes,
wow,
and just played a fantastic 4 game against that Afrocentric pressure defense. So congratulations, Trey. You played a great game, and also freshman Gavin Wildermuth. What more can you say for a freshman? Stepped in, gave Coach Elker 21 great minutes, chipped in 7 points, 4 assists, only had 1 turnover, had a huge steal towards the end of the game. And like any good freshman would, steps up to the line and knocks down 2 free throws.
I believe Wildermuth, all those 7 points all came in the fourth quarter too.
That is
they?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, he stepped in for an injured Troy Opperman.
Right.
And I'm kind of curious as to what his status is going to be for Saturday. I really didn't hear anything about that, but hopefully he'll be able to play, because I don't think Jackson goes too deep.
No, they don't. They only play 6 kids typically. So if they lose Troy Opperman, they're down to 5. Then I'm sure they look at one of the winter boys or somebody like that to come in and fill the role. So. It's just been a team effort for Jackson Center all year, and they just continue to get the job done.
Yeah, they sure do. And to follow up a little bit about what you said there, I didn't hear that interview with Coach Elkert, but you answered one of my questions. I was wondering, what did he say to those boys at halftime to get the win? Like I said, it just seemed like they weren't playing so great the first half, and they came out and did it the second half. And to follow up on some of those stats, you were talking about Trey Elkert not having any turnovers for the game. Is that right?
No turnovers for the game. 4 assists, no turnovers. And, the whole team combined only had 10 turnovers.
Yeah, that's right. And I think they averaged on the season 9 turnovers. And against a team like Afrocentric, you got to expect you're going to turn the ball over some. But to only have 10 turnovers or 1 over your average, pretty good.
Pretty impressive.
They move on to play now Saturday morning, 10:45 against.
They play Berlin Highland, Craig, the defending Division IV state champion. Berlin Highland will come in with a 26-1 record. They were a 46-37 winner today over Archbald. And the real interesting thing about Berlin Highland, Craig, their front line 6'7", 6'7", 6'5".
Oh, wow.
So these guys are big. The other interesting thing is they're led by 6'5" senior Dylan Kaufman. Dylan was a co-player of the year in Division IV basketball this year, along with Andy Hoyne.
Yeah.
They're both seniors. They're both co-players of the year. They're both 6'5", and they both average 17 points a game. So I guess they're going to settle it on the floor Saturday morning at 10:30 at the Schottenstein Center and to determine our state champion.
Yeah, Jackson Center every week or every game, can I hear, well, this team's got this team's got this, Jackson's going to have to overcome this. All they do is keep beating these teams and winning.
All they do is win.
Yeah,
that's all they do.
That's what it's all about. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for a boys basketball talk. Hopefully we'll be congratulating some state champions from Jackson Center here next week on the show. But let's move forward. Spring is officially here now. Baseball is here. The boys open their season, I believe, next Monday. And I want to ask you, I saw earlier in the week a poll came out from the Miami Valley Baseball Coaches Association. They had a ranking of some area teams. They had Fort Laramie in first, Russia in second, Tri-County North in third, I think Covington in fourth, and Lehman in fifth. I want to ask you, what does that poll mean preseason? Does it mean anything right now?
Craig, doesn't mean a whole lot. It's more of a popularity poll, I believe, amongst the local Miami Valley Coaches Association. But, you know, it gives good recognition to the teams that deserve it. You know, year in and year out, Fort Loramie has been fantastic. Coach Sturwald, you've done a great job over there at Fort Loramie. You know, he continues to excel. He's won a few state championships. So, you know, deservingly, they're #1 right out of the gate. Russia has got an excellent tradition in baseball. New coach this year running them, and Coach Rick Gold is just very, very well respected coach throughout the entire state of Ohio, and looks to do some really nice things with the Russia baseball program. Look for Lehman to be very strong this year. They probably have the best pitcher around in Alex Smith, excellent pitcher. And so, you know, they're going to be able to win a lot of games with him on the mound. And, of course, you can't look past the defending Division IV state champion, the Minster Wildcats.
Sure.
Minster had a fantastic season last year, winning the state championship. And, you know, they only lost a couple seniors off that whole team. And they've got a lot of good players back. So, you know, Loramie, Lehman, Russia, Minster, the whole, there's just a lot of good teams just in this small area.
Yeah, there sure is. And okay, so the poll doesn't mean a whole lot right now, but let me ask you this. Is there anything new in baseball this year, maybe compared to last year, that we might want to look forward to this season?
Yes, there is, and the main thing is going to be the focus on the bats this year. The Ohio High School Athletic Association has actually changed the bats that the kids can use actually to what they call a BB court. And it's a different type of alloy, a different type of metal. Basically, the long story short is you can't hit the ball as hard or as far with these bats as what you could in previous years. So the day of the long ball, the day of hitting the ball into the gaps could be over with, at least, you know, in essence. So, you know, you're going to see more emphasis put on pitching, defense, bunting, stealing, running to try to manufacture runs. So I look for a lot of coaches to play for smaller innings, not try to go for the big inning, and try to put up a run or two, you know, here and there, and win a low-scoring contest.
And that change in bats, I don't necessarily see that as such a bad thing.
No, it's a good thing, you know, Craig. The bats that these kids were using in previous years had so much pop in them that these balls were just flying out of here. You know, it was dangerous for the pitcher, the third baseman, and it's just a good change.
And the bats weren't cheap either, were they?
No, they weren't. You know, you can spend $400 to $500 on a baseball bat. So
wow.
That's crazy, but that's what they cost.
Different from back when I played, that's
yes,
for sure.
Yes, it is.
So,
Craig, you could have probably hit 8 home runs back in your day if you'd had one of them bats.
Man. All right, well, we're going to end it at that, Ken. We'll be talking more about baseball in the weeks to come, but let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk a little track, in particular some girls track, and we got that special interview coming up with West Liberty coach Ann Vogel. Stay tuned for that.
So American girl, restless girls is ready for the night. All the ready for the night. 17 pissed at the world, we don't know why, but it's worth that for. Tomorrow's just a lifetime away, but tonight is everything. It's another small town song about nothing ever going on a Friday night. Heading to town, score some bills to get up to rising. Check out the local bands, tie on the bus and take a chance with the pretty girl just to get shot down. Just another night in a small town. There for a while, feeling good, no doubt. Careless mending a broken heart. Father sound and waiting since she's tired of it all. Can't hang out the mill no more. The cops ran us off the wild night shore. We'll just cruise the outskirts of town till we run out of beer, all the gas runs out.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Well, before the break, Ken, we were talking about some basketball and baseball. We're now going to change gears, talk about track seasons here. Locally, we got the Russia boys actually starting their season next Tuesday with the Sydney Invitational. We're going to be talking more about some boys track in the weeks to come, but tonight we're going to talk about some girls track. In particular, the Russia girls start this Saturday with the annual Versailles Lady Tiger Classique. It's a big meet. They do it every year, held over in Versailles, like I said, and there's a lot of good schools at this meet, isn't there?
There's a lot of good schools, Craig, and what they do, though, they split them all up between what they call an orange, a white, and a black division. So, but I think they just kind of do that based on your school size. Most of them are still Division III schools. But in the orange division, a couple of the better teams you're going to have is Russia and Fort Loramie and Botkins and even Bradford, who's actually got some really nice runners. So they're going to be in the orange division. Probably look for Fort Loramie and Russia and maybe even Botkins to be the team to beat in that division. The white division, you've got Houston, Franklin Monroe, Minster, and Marion Local. Minster, of course, probably going to be the team to beat in the white division. And then the black division, you got several of the larger schools with Eaton and Greenville, but the two marquee schools there are the host team Versailles and also the West Liberty-Salem Tigers. So look for a battle there probably between those two schools to win the black.
Okay, well, you mentioned the West Liberty-Salem Tigers, and on the phone right now we have one of the best running coaches in Ohio, and she's the head coach of the West Liberty-Salem Tigers, and that is head coach Ann Vogel. Ann, you're on with Fish Report Live. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
All right, before we even get started, I want to get something straight. I just called you the West Liberty-Salem Tigers. I've heard the Tigers. I've heard the Big Orange. Straighten me out here. Which is it?
Well, it's a little of both, actually. Our school, West Liberty-Salem's school mascot is a tiger. But back in the 70s, when the Big Orange boys cross-country team won 4 consecutive state titles, they started calling them the Big Orange just because they were such a dominant team. So they started wearing Big Orange on their uniforms. So in cross-country, we kept that tradition and we wear them. So in cross-country, we're the Big Orange, and in track, we're the Tigers, but I think my distance girls would say they're always part of the Big Orange.
Okay, well, I'll stick with the Tigers tonight. Is that all right?
That's fine, that's fine.
Okay. Well, hey, listen, we've had some unseasonably warm weather this year so far. I wanted to ask you, have you been able to get outside and practice more this year than maybe in years past?
We've been outside every day. I mean, even during conditioning, we've been outside. This is my 20th season of coaching track, and I can't remember a season that's been so warm. It's just amazing. Even started to get a farmer's tan already.
Coach, this is Ken Francis, and in the Lady Tiger Classic that we're going to be at on Saturday, the 3,200-meter run is going to be a very interesting race for you, mainly because you've got a very special person in that run, and your daughter Megan, and who is a fantastic runner, by the way. But competing against her, you're going to have a young lady by the name of Tammy Berger, who, of course, everyone has heard of, Tammy, and also Natalie Grillo, both of Versailles. Kind of I don't know if we want to call this a preview of what's to come down the road this June, or do we want to review this as a rematch of what happened last June? 3 of the best 3,200-meter runners in the state going at it the first day of the year. How do you feel about that?
Well, I hate to disappoint you, but Megan's not running the 3,200 Saturday.
Okay.
Megan's not going to run the 32. She's running the 1,600 and the 800 on Saturday. I'm sure that matchup will come down the road. It might not even be till the district meet, but I try not to race my girls in the 3,200 too much, so we mix it up. So this is a week that Megan's not running the 32 for us.
Well,
so maybe we'll see those two girls, and Tammy and Natalie are fantastic runners and just great all-around people, but maybe if they run the mile, I haven't seen a lineup of who's running what events yet, but maybe they would run against each other in the mile, and definitely they'll see each other in the 4x800.
That's for sure, and yeah, there's just going to be a lot of good competition there. It's too bad how they break up the different divisions, and like I said, you got Russia and Fort Loramie, 2 very good track teams in one division, Minster in a different division, and then you and Versailles in the 3rd division. So it'd be nice kind of if we could see some of them kids race against each other, but maybe at this time of the year when it doesn't mean a whole lot, it's a good idea that they don't. So
right, I think that's intense. Although in cross country you kind of meet up earlier in the season like that, but that would be some intense racing right off the bat.
Yeah.
But we're excited to run against the Versailles team. They're just obviously a state powerhouse, and we're looking forward to just getting out and competing. I think the first, after you start practicing for a while, you're ready to compete and see how you're doing so far.
That's right. Last year, you said this is your 20th year coaching. I know you've been very successful. Last year, you lost a very good athlete in Hannah Ropp, along with Sarah Murphy. I know Hannah did some hurdles, long jumped, and pole vaulted. Any chance one of your distance runners, say Jasmine Smith, grabs a hold of the pole vault and pole vaults to fill in for Hannah Ropp?
No, Jasmine would probably be the last person that could pole vault, but actually we have a junior, Megan Etkin, who cleared 9 feet last year, and she's really gotten better. We're hoping she can clear 10 feet this year. She's been doing a lot of work in the off season. And we have a freshman, Brooke Larkin, who's a pretty decent pole vaulter, and our pole vault coach, Jack Beards, hoping she can get 8.6 or even better this season. So Hannah, there's some big shoes to fill there, but I think we have the girls that can get to that point.
Okay, well, Craig and I were pulling for Jasmine, but we'll let one of them other girls take care of it.
Jasmine's pretty long and lanky. I don't know if she could get over that. Don't give her any ideas. I need her to run and stay healthy.
Well, hey, listen, Coach, one more question before we let you go here. And last Friday, I actually had the opportunity to get over there to West Liberty and attend a fish fry fundraiser that your track team was putting on. Got the good fortune of meeting some of those runners, and they actually participated in a state competition last Saturday. You want to tell us a little bit about that and how they did?
Well, sure. And hey, Craig, first, thanks for coming and supporting the fish fry. We had a great turnout, and I'd like a shout out to Bologna Express for putting on the fish fry for us. Savannah Ship's parents do that for us every year. But the girls, it was Megan Vogel, Shonda Aino, Jasmine Smith, and Alyssa Strickland ran in the Ohio Association of Track and Cross Country Coaches State Indoor Meet at the University of Akron. It was at Style Field House. The top 16 get to compete at that meet. We had to compete in a Division 2 and 3. They only have 2 races, 2 meets as Division 1, and they put 2 and 3 together. We finished 11th overall, and we were 4th, I believe, in the Division 3 schools. So we were happy with their performance, and it was just a great experience to go over there and watch some just top caliber runners and just go to a great university with some fantastic facilities.
Now, indoor track, is that something you've done in years past?
We're getting, the last 3 years, I've kind of tried to put together a program. Hannah Ropp, who you mentioned before, has pole vaulted at the state indoor meet a couple years in a row. My daughter Megan ran in the 3200 her freshman year. She also qualified for the 3200 this year, but just because we have a race this weekend, we decided not to have her run the Open 32. But we're trying to get some kids out, and it's fun. A lot of meets. We go to Findlay quite often. Bowling Green has a great indoor meet. We go over to OSU, and just a good experience for the athletes to go and see some college campuses and compete and stay in shape in the winter.
Well, it sounds like a lot of fun, and I'm sure it'll benefit them as the season gets started here this weekend.
I'm sure it will. Yeah, they really enjoy it.
So, hey, listen, Ann, we're going to let you go. I want you to make me a deal, though, Coach. Since you fed me last Friday, we want to get you over here to Russia sometime soon so we can return the favor. Is that a deal?
That's a deal. I love to eat, so anytime.
Good. Well, listen, Coach, good luck to your girls Saturday and throughout the whole season, and I'm sure we'll run into you on the track somewhere.
All right. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it.
Yep.
That was the head coach of the West Liberty-Salem Tigers, Ken, Coach Ann Vogel, and she's a pretty good coach in track and cross country.
She is. She's a very good coach. She's got some good runners. She does a great job with the kids, and good person, and she's got good kids running for her, and a lot of fun to be around.
Well, since we're talking about that Versailles meet, can you give me any other? We talked about West Liberty-Salem, touched on Versailles a little bit there. Any other performers we should look forward to hearing about Saturday?
Yeah, I mentioned Bradford before, and honestly, they've got a really good young runner over there by the name of Shay LaFollette, who does a fantastic job. She's a good sprinter and a hurdler. She went to state last year, and other girls locally that competed that went to state individually last year include Bethany York, Jackie Seifring, and Lauren Francis, all from Russia. So they had a good contingent of runners over there. Allison Roth from Houston. Versailles had a big group of girls. Chelsea Bruns, of course, Tammy Berger, Natalie Grillo, and a transfer last year that also ran cross country and helped their basketball team this year. But track is probably this girl's best sport, and that's Chloe Varvel. So, along with Meg Westerheide from Fort Loramie, Megan Vogel, of course, from West Liberty that we spoke about, and Olivia Cummings from Fairlawn. So, all those girls had went to state individually last year, and they'll open their seasons up on Saturday.
All right, a lot to look forward to there. I'm going to try to actually slip over there and watch a little bit of that. Typically, this time of year, it's pretty cold. I know they've had snow flurries over there before. Sounds like the temperature's supposed to be okay, but I heard maybe rain's in the forecast.
A lot of rain, and I'm going to myself try to slip over there as well, but there's a big basketball game on at 10:30 Saturday morning that I'm pretty interested in too.
That's true. That's true. All right, Ken. Well, that's going to do it for our sports talk tonight. Why don't we get back to our trivia question? Tell the answers, the question again, and maybe give us an answer. I think last week we missed the answer.
We did. I'll be sure and give you the answer this week. All right. The question was, who are the only undefeated teams left in the state of Ohio in boys basketball, regardless of division? Who are the only undefeated teams left in Ohio? So to give us tonight's answer, first of all, do we have a winner, Craig? Everybody knows probably one of the teams is, but
Jackson Center.
Jackson Center is going to be one of them, and I'm going to have somebody slip in here and give us. I'm going to check my my messages here real quick to make sure I don't have any correct answers.
I saw last week's winner, Clay George, guessed the Jackson Center Tigers, and then I think he mentioned Afrocentric, which wouldn't make any sense because they got beat today. But then he also mentioned Arlington. That's not the answer either.
So, all right. To give us our correct answer tonight, once again on stage, we have Ross. Okay, Ross, give me the only two undefeated teams left in the state of Ohio. Actually, this would be regardless of boys or girls because no girls went undefeated this year. So, Ross, give them the answer.
Well, guys, the correct answer is Jackson Center and Dayton Dunbar.
All right, Dayton Dunbar and the Jackson Center Tigers. So thanks, Ross, for giving us that answer.
Yep.
Good job, Ross.
All right, we had no correct answers, by the way. I had a lot of people guessing. A lot of people knew Jackson Center, of course. Nobody knew Dayton Dunbar. So, but thanks to all those who played the game tonight again.
All right, Ken. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Before we go, I want to say thanks to our sponsors, like we do every week. Also, thanks to our special guest, Ann Vogel, for coming on the show tonight. Also, want to thank the viewers out there for tuning in again this week. We'll look forward to talking to you again next week. And everyone, just have a great weekend. For Ken Francis, I'm Craig Fissinger saying good night, everyone.
We'll leave you with a little Eye of the Tiger and wish Coach Elkert and all the Tigers over there good luck Saturday. So
good luck,
bring
everyone.
Bring home the hard one.
Tired of this, the fight, rising up to the challenge.